Alright, I wanted to make a video about my dictionary. Uh, Reason why I got this big old dictionary was because on I used to have on my old laptop here that I don't use anymore. On this thing, long time ago, I had downloaded it. I guess it's like I don't know if it's called an application or or whatever, but it was just this thing that I downloaded. Um, where all I had to do was click on the bottom of my screen, and so it was like a dictionary. I could look up words on this laptop. But so I had this laptop for over 10 years, and it pretty much doesn't work anymore. I can turn it on and use it for like plugging my light in on the side, but it doesn't. Something comes up and it says something that I don't remember. So I can't use it to I can't use it for music. I can't get to my, iTunes, and I don't think I can even get to the screen where I could access the dictionary on it. I think even if I could get to the screen where I could get to the icons like my iTunes and the dictionary on the bottom, uh, the laptop just it turns off and it restarts and it says something I don't remember, but that's not important. So basically, this doesn't really function very well anymore because it's really old. But so I used to have a dictionary thing on there um, that I was relying on. Also, I had this little um, I guess like a pocket dictionary. It was a really small one, so it didn't have a lot of stuff in it. But I don't know where that went. I guess I lost that. So I don't have that anymore. So I was just relying on my old laptop here for looking up words. So it was frustrating when the laptop was no longer functioning properly because I couldn't. That was all I had for looking up words. So I have this new laptop that I'm making this video on right now, but I didn't feel like I didn't want to download anything on my new laptop to just use up space. It's like because on my old laptop I downloaded a bunch of stuff like a lot of music and other stuff. So for this new laptop I didn't want to download a bunch of stuff on it. So I'm sure like the dictionary thing wouldn't take up that much storage space, but like sometimes you're taking a risk when you download things. You might get uh, like a virus from it. So I didn't want to take that risk, and I wanted to use that as an opportunity to get an actual real dictionary. So that's why I got it. Like most people like uh, if you have internet like all the time, you have no reason to get a real dictionary because you can just look it up on Google or whatever on whatever word you want to look up. So for those people, they don't really have a need for this. But for me, and for I assume some other people, like everyone in the world doesn't have internet. Maybe I don't know what the percentage is, but a lot of people have internet, so they can just look up words on the internet. But like for me and some other people, they might not like actually pay for internet to be in their home all the time or like on their phone all the time. For me, I mostly rely on sometimes I get some internet on my phone that it doesn't last very long though. But mostly I rely on free Wi-Fi from other businesses. Lately, I've been going to the library, so that's been nice for the free internet there. So I don't, I don't have access to internet all the time in my in my apartment. So there's times where I can't just go on the internet and look up a word that I want to know the definition for. So I like having this so that I don't have to rely on whether or not I have access to the internet. Um, Plus, like it's nice to have as a backup in case like, well, what do you do if the internet stops working for whatever reason? Or like, what if the power goes out? I guess that wouldn't affect the internet, though. Not if you have a phone. But it's possible that the internet might stop working for whatever reason. Then, well, what if you have to during that time when the internet's not working, you have to look up a word? Well, there you go. You have a dictionary. You can look up the word in the dictionary. So I like not having to rely on the internet to look up words. Plus, I have this nostalgic feeling for actually owning this nice big dictionary. I like having this big dictionary because when I was when I was a kid growing up, our family, I assume it's still there in the family home, but we had this really big, pretty much the size of this, but it was so this is a New Oxford American Dictionary, third edition, Oxford. But the family dictionary, which is about this size, it was a Webster's dictionary. It had so this one just has regular white edged pages, but the Webster's dictionary that we had in the family, it had gold edges on the pages, which I thought was neat. I've never seen gold edges on pages of any other books other than the Webster's dictionary that my family had. And in the back, I remember liking in the back of the dictionary. I don't remember actually looking up words too often when I was a kid, but I do remember liking, other than the gold edged pages, I liked in the back of the dictionary of the Webster's one, it had all the U.S. presidents. I think it might have been up until Reagan or right before Reagan. So it was an old dictionary. But I like that it had all the U.S. presidents up to the time of the printing, and it had like photos. Well, not photos. I guess kind of like paintings, small like 2 inch, I suppose, like small painting images of the U.S. presidents. So I thought that was neat. I think it might have said a little bit about each president. Yeah, there might have been a little short biography of each one. And it also in the back of this Webster's dictionary, it had all the, I guess, all the flags of the world. Sounds like a lot of flags, but I thought that was neat. So I remembered this dictionary from my youth, the Webster's one, and I thought, hey, I want a dictionary like that, rather than just downloading a dictionary thing and putting it on my laptop. And I'd rather get a real dictionary because I remember uh, I had this nostalgic feeling for the Webster's dictionary. So I didn't get a Webster's, I got an Oxford, but uh, I just got the one on Amazon that um, I guess that had that looked like it was the best one, and it had a decent price. This was $30 on Amazon, so it's nice and big, and it's the appropriate size. So I like that. So I guess it didn't have to be Webster. I wouldn't have mind gotten a Webster's. I don't know why I didn't get a Webster's. I guess they didn't have one that was like a good size or the right price for me. $30 seemed like a decent price for a dictionary. Um, when I went to university, I was at a university for about a year and a half. I remember the English professor said something that always stuck with me about dictionaries. Um, he said when you're reading something, like an assigned reading in the class, always if you get to a word that you don't know what the meaning is, don't just keep reading on. Stop and look up that word so you know what the meaning of the word is, so you can better understand what the context of the sentence that you're reading. Don't you're not just read you're just reading something that you're supposed to read for the class, and you're just like, oh, what's that word? I don't know what that word is, and just keep going, because then you're not comprehending fully what you're reading. That is, it's just laziness. So it is time consuming to stop. Like you're trying to read something, especially if it's for a class. You got to hurry up and read it. It's a little time consuming to stop and to look up the word in a dictionary or even look it up on the internet. I suppose it takes a little longer with the dictionary because it takes time to turn the pages and find the right word rather than just typing it in on the for the Google. But either way, it's a little. It might be seem a little annoying and time consuming to look up the word, but it's very. I feel it's very important if you want to know, if you want to understand what you're reading. Um, it's like a lot of people, like I think, like even myself, like I used to. It's like before this professor said this, I never even thought of it or never really did that. But like I'm sure, like actually looking up a word if I didn't know what it was. So I'm sure before that, like myself and other people, like they just like used the context of the sentence to just get a vague meaning of the word that you don't know. Like, well, I'm just going to use the context of what the rest of the words in this sentence is and kind of guess at what the meaning of this word is. So you can do that, but you might be wrong. Because I've been wrong at times. Like before I look up a word, I'd be like I didn't really. I was kind of like hesitant about looking the word up because I didn't want to stop reading. So I was like guessing at the meaning of the word, and then when I looked it up, it was like totally wrong. It's like just so guessing at the word, the meaning of a word, you even by going with a context, or just like maybe you've heard the word in the past before and you kind of like, I think I know what that means, but when you look it up, you might be wrong. So it's really, I feel it's very important to, uh, I agree with this university professor. If you're reading something and you don't know the meaning of a word, if you're not 100% sure that you know the meaning of this word, look it up. So I really like having this dictionary.